back to my channel, my bold and the beautiful fans. Hopefully you're having a terrific Taco Tuesday. I gotta say, I'm in a little bit of shock of this bold and the beautiful episode because it looks like what Hope has to say is very telling about her feelings. But before we jump into it, I'm going to give you a couple of highlights and we go unpack it. We see Hope says Thomas is her future. Brooke tells her to end it. Thomas and Ridge discuss Hope, and RJ wants his own place. So without any further ado, let's talk about what went down in LA on this January 16th episode. We're back in the cabin coming off of yesterday's episode where Thomas is still pouring out his heart to Hope, confessing that he's changed and expresses his desire to have a future with her. Now, Hope is torn. She's unsure. She needs time to process everything to make sense of their complicated history. And for a moment after that scene, I kind of had a little bit of doubts. But as we continue, we'll see that it's a little bit different. Now, on the other hand, we have these other two lovebirds, RJ and Luna, taking their budding romance to the design office. And just as they're about to have a moment, guess who barged in? Because they don't lock doors on this show? Brooke, creating an awkward situation. Now, of course, RJ is embarrassed, decides that it's time to get his own place for some much needed privacy. Now, across the hall in the CEO office, Ridge and Carter share a hug, but Brooke interrupts them in their moment. Now, Ridge is somewhat annoyed, acknowledges that the office romances are common amongst his children as they are talking about Hope and Thomas and RJ and Luna. Now, Carter is absolutely uninterested in the parenting discussion, and so, of course, he excuses himself. Well, then, Carter walks into the design office only to interrupt RJ and Luna making out, and, of course, unfazed, he drops off some papers and jokingly suggests that they lock the door. I agree with you, Carter. RJ takes the advice and the passionate moment between the two of them continues. Meanwhile, after Thomas has unburdened himself to Hope, Thomas now seeks solace in Ridge's office, sharing his concerns about his relationship with Hope. Now, Ridge reassures his son, expressing pride in the man Thomas has become. However, Thomas reveals that Brooke especially disapproves of his relationship with Hope. And I gotta say, Ridge really did a good job in this situation, saying that as long as Thomas is happy, he's happy for him too. This is when it get a little dicey as we head back over to the tiny cabin in the woods. Brooke intrudes on Hope's space, assuming that the romantic setup was for Thomas, which it was. And she got the nerve to ask, is Thomas still here in the other room? Okay, if that's the case, maybe you ought to turn around and walk back out the door. However, Hope reveals they had a difficult conversation, but asserts her belief in Thomas's changed ways. Now, of course, Brooke is concerned for her daughter, advising her to end the relationship, but this is where we see Hope standing firm in her conviction regarding Thomas.
So it would be best for you to end it with him now.
I know you mean well, Mom, but I don't intend on doing that.
Honey, I want you to consider what's best for you, what's best for the children.
I have. And yes, Thomas he has made mistakes. He has done some regrettable things. And he acknowledges that. I mean, haven't we all messed up? Yeah, I'm not perfect. None of us are. And Lord knows I'm the queen of giving people second, third, and fourth, fifth chances. But what makes this different, Mom, is that it's not just empty words and platitudes. He's done the work. And so I'm not just hoping that maybe he's going to transform. I know he has. He's backed it up with action.
Okay, you're acting a little strange. You're not really yourself right now, honey. You're very uneasy. And if you don't want to tell me what's going on, that's okay. I just want you to trust your instincts. If there's anything that you doubt about Thomas, anything at all, please,
Don't doubt Thomas. I think he is an exceptional designer. I think he has stepped up and proven himself as a father and mom. He loves me unconditionally. which is all I have ever hoped for. So I know you hate to hear that, but at some point, Mom, you are going to have to stop fighting this. Please. Is there any part of you that can learn to accept Thomas and me? Because who knows what our future might be.
Yep, we see the tension rising between these two, and look like, Brooke, you might have a new son-in-law in the future, or possibly a new grandbaby. As we know, Hope talked about babies possibly with Thomas. Also, I just want to note, if you hear that sound of air in the background, the heat is continuously coming on because it is -2 here where I am. So I just want to throw that out there just in case you guys hear that air blowing sound. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see if Brooke can actually, accept the relationship. She's concerned from Hope. She told her to end the relationship, but we saw Hope stand firm in her conviction. We saw also emotion and feelings there. A part of me tends to think that she's fallen in love with Thomas, because if this is just a situationship and they just having fun, she wouldn't be going hard in the paint like this when it comes to Thomas, standing up against her own mother, which of course Brooke does not want a Thomas and Hope, aka Thope, relationship, or even possibly a marriage. She don't know about that engagement, you guys, remember? So yeah, this is going to be interesting, and it's probably going to cause some problems between her and Ridge as well. I can see that on the horizon. But I'm actually proud of Hope in this episode. She stood up to her mom with regards to her feelings, which, you know what? I didn't expect this. I didn't know what Hope was going to say to her mom. And they made it look like she had all these doubts. And she sent Thomas away talking about she need time. From the way she expressed herself to her mom, I don't think she needs some time. She looked like she ready to move forward, or at least sooner than we expected. So, you know what? It's going to be interesting to see how everything moves forward. And Finn, I guess you're done. Xander, you know what? I guess it didn't help because she's standing firm with her man. And little waffle boy, little puke, Liam, yeah. Sorry, I don't think it's going to work for you either. Okay, so there you have it. Let me ask you guys a question. What do you think Brooke is going to say? How is she going to respond? Is she going to accept this relationship finally that Hope has stood her ground? RJ getting his own place. Well, that's going to play out toward the end of the week, especially with this whole beach house situation. And then I like the conversation between Thomas and Ridge. Ridge actually is accepting the relationship. He's happy as long as his son is happy. And of course, that's all we can ask for. Let me know your thoughts. Also, stick around. Go over there and check out the Young and the Restless recap for today. We had 3 women taking initiative when it comes to these menses. So go over there and check that out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notifications so you'll be notified every time a video is posted. And until the next one, we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.